Hey guys, today I'm going to be coloring the mystery girl from Steven Universe with Copic Markers. In this video, I turn my piece of paper around a lot. The reason for this is I'm trying to get color into small spots on the paper without going over the lines. Like as you can see with the blue sky, I'm trying to blend together a few different colors, but I'm also trying to avoid the blue going into the clouds and other areas. It was much easier to accomplish this by turning the paper around and coloring from that particular angle instead of keeping it straight in front of me and just trying to make it work. It's much easier to move your drawing around and color it than move yourself around, particularly when you have camera equipment to consider. I've been really feeling the 5 months of no new episodes. I'm sure the rest of you have too. I really hope they bring in Mystery Girl again, but I also want to see what's going on with Lars and Sadie. Even though Lars is kind of the worst, I do like him and Sadie as a couple, and their relationship is very interesting. And given how things left off last season, he needs to redeem himself as far as Sadie is concerned, in my opinion. I'm interested to see how that plays out. My goal for this drawing was to fill the whole thing up with color. Like I said in my video when I was doing the inking and sketching, my goal for this drawing was to have a full scene. Like I wanted a character and an environment and look like she belongs in the environment. And part of that is not having the character just standing in white space. So when I started coloring, I knew I needed the whole thing filled with marker. Which was a little intimidating at first because Copic markers aren't cheap. But the paper I used also isn't the best for watercolor, so I pretty much had no choice. When choosing colors for the background, I tried to pick colors that match the colors in the show. Well, as close as I could because I don't own every Copic marker, but I think I was close enough. I made the decision to start filling color into the background before I completely colored Mystery Girl, because I was concerned that by coloring everything, she might fade into the background too much. So I thought if I did all of the background colors first, then it would be much easier for me to figure out how I needed to color her to keep her in the environment. Unfortunately for the road, the gray I originally chose was drastically running out of ink. I did not realize that until I started applying the color to the road. Because of that, throughout the drawing you'll see me add different layers of gray across the road. I kept applying a layer and then I would wait for it to dry and add another layer. I was just going to use one layer of one gray to keep it simple, but in the end adding all those different layers of gray ended up making the road look more interesting to me than I initially imagined in my mind. I tried to switch up the shades of green I used in the back bushes and tried not to have the same shades of green touch each other so that I could emphasize the shape of each section of bush. I thought that would break it up more and make it a little more interesting. Even though I wanted the most detail and attention to go to coloring Mystery Girl, I didn't want the background to be too flat either. I feel like Copic marker is a very rich medium. The key to utilizing this particular tool is taking advantage of the layering abilities. To me, it's almost a waste to just lay down one layer. A perk to the road looking richer as I added more layers of gray to hide my mistake was that it made me start to evaluate how the rest of the background looked in comparison to the road. As the road started getting more shades and depth to it, the bushes and grass in the very background just started looking flat to a point where it just looked bad to me. So I went in and started layering more color in an attempt to emphasize the shapes of the bushes. I didn't want to go into the effort of making it photorealistic and drawing every single leaf because I feel like that would detract from the Mystery Girl herself, but I was still aware I needed to push it more. It needed to look nicer. I didn't add too much extra color, but the amount I pushed it I think was perfect for this drawing. It does look a lot richer and nicer and more detailed in the background. Mystery Girl's sweater around her waist does quite delight me because I am Canadian. And as a Canadian, I do like this plaid type texture on my clothing. I swear I used to have a jacket with this exact same texture on it. The jacket also gave me the opportunity to create more unity in this drawing as a whole. Some of you may notice that Mystery Girl's boots in this drawing are a bit different than in the show. Frankly, it was just because I like these boots better. In this piece, these boots were my excuse to use my white gel pen later. Making Mystery Girl's pants and boots dark gray shades was also my way of drawing attention to her. Like the road and the railing in the back are both more of a light gray, so I needed to pull our eyes to the front. Coming in with the white gel pen is one of the funnest parts of coloring with Copic markers, I think. It really seems to add an extra layer of shininess. To me, her boots looked kind of questionable before I busted out my white gel pen. I'd always intended to add white gel pen laces at the end, but I felt like the little textures and shines I added to the front of her boots with the gel pen are what made them look cool. This was really fun for me to color. I was really happy with the end result. And with the new season on its way, I'm definitely going to be drawing some more Steven Universe fan art going forward. I definitely need a Sadie piece. I love Goth Sadie in the recent, new episode preview. I'd love to see her interacting with Pirate Lars, but I guess we'll see. But this was the end result. Thank you for watching, I really appreciate it, and if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, check out the rest of my stuff.